Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you not as someone who claims to know your pain, but as someone who believes in the power of the human spirit to rise, even from the ashes of the deepest grief. Grief, as we all know, can feel like a storm that shatters everything in its path, our sense of security, our identity, our very will to move forward. It pulls us into darkness and whispers that there is no way out. But let me tell you this, the darkness does not define you. What defines you is how you choose to rebuild. About rebuilding yourself after the deepest grief is one of life's most profound challenges, a journey that tests the very fabric of your being. Grief, in its raw and unrelenting nature, has a way of stripping away everything we once knew to be true. It leaves us feeling untethered, as though the ground beneath our feet has dissolved, and we are left to navigate an uncharted expanse of emotional turbulence. Yet, even amidst this turmoil, there exists a quiet truth. Within the depths of despair lies the seed of transformation. It may not feel that way at first. In fact, it often feels as though nothing will ever make sense again. But rebuilding is not about rushing toward resolution or pretending the pain isn't there. It's about learning to coexist with it, allowing it to teach us, mold us, and ultimately help us emerge stronger and more compassionate than before. To rebuild after grief, we must first confront the raw and unfiltered emotions that come with it. Grief doesn't adhere to a timeline or follow a neat trajectory. It ebbs and flows, often without warning. There will be days when it feels overwhelming, and on those days, the temptation to push it away can be strong. But avoidance only prolongs the healing process. Acknowledging your pain is not just an act of acceptance, it's an act of bravery. It's allowing yourself to sit with the ache and recognize that it's a testament to the depth of your love and connection to what you've lost. Through this acknowledgement, you begin to lay the foundation for rebuilding, a foundation rooted not in denial, but in the truth of your experience. Only by embracing this truth can you start to redefine your identity and find a way forward. Grief has a way of unraveling who we thought we were, leaving us with a disorienting sense of loss, not just of a loved one, but of ourselves. In the aftermath, it's easy to feel as though you're a stranger to your own reflection, unsure of who you are or who you're meant to become. But this process of rediscovery is where growth begins. Take small steps to reconnect with the parts of yourself that remain, while also being open to the new aspects of your identity that may emerge. This might mean revisiting passions or hobbies that once brought you joy, or perhaps exploring new interests that speak to who you are now. Each small step is a victory, a piece of the puzzle falling into place as you rebuild your sense of self. Rebuilding after grief also requires us to let go of the notion that we must do it alone. It can be tempting to retreat into isolation, to carry the burden of our pain in silence because we believe no one else can truly understand. But the truth is, there is strength in vulnerability. Reaching out to others, whether they are friends, family, or support groups, can be a lifeline. Sharing your story allows you to release some of the weight you've been carrying and opens the door for connection and understanding. It reminds you that you are not alone in your pain, that others have walked similar paths and found their way through. Leaning on others is not a sign of weakness, it is an acknowledgement of the shared humanity that binds us all. In the process of rebuilding, it's important to recognize that progress is not linear. There will be days when it feels as though you're moving backward, as though the weight of your grief has grown heavier instead of lighter. These moments can be discouraging, but they are a natural part of the journey. Healing is not about erasing your pain or forgetting what you've lost. It's about learning to carry it in a way that allows you to move forward. Celebrate the small victories, even if they seem insignificant. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a testament to your resilience and your commitment to rebuilding your life. As you navigate this journey, you may also find yourself grappling with questions of purpose and meaning. Grief often forces us to confront life's deepest uncertainties and reevaluate what truly matters. In these moments of reflection, there is an opportunity to create new meaning from your loss. This doesn't mean finding a silver lining or pretending the pain doesn't exist. Rather, it's about honoring your grief by using it as a catalyst for growth and transformation. Perhaps you find solace in helping others who are going through similar experiences, or maybe you channel your emotions into creative expression. Whatever path you choose, let it be one that aligns with your values and allows you to live in a way that feels authentic and true. Through all of this, the most important thing to remember is that rebuilding after grief is a deeply personal journey. There is no right or wrong way to do it, no set timeline to follow. Give yourself permission to heal at your own pace, to take the time you need to process your emotions and find your footing. Be patient with yourself and remember that it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Healing is not a solitary endeavor, it is a collective effort that draws on the strength of your community and your own inner resilience. The road to rebuilding is not easy, and there will undoubtedly be moments when it feels impossible. But within you lies a strength you may not yet realize, a strength that has carried you this far and will continue to carry you as you move forward. Trust in that strength and trust in your ability to rise from the depths of your grief. You are not defined by your pain, but by how you choose to rebuild in its aftermath. Let your journey be a testament to the power of the human spirit to endure, to heal, and to transform. And as you take each step forward, know that you are not alone. You are surrounded by a community of individuals who believe in your ability to rebuild and who will stand with you every step of the way. Rebuilding yourself after the deepest grief is a profound and transformative journey, one that asks more of us than we often believe we can give. Grief is not a fleeting experience. It doesn't knock gently and leave quietly. Instead, it crashes through our lives like a storm, scattering our sense of normalcy and identity. The world as we knew it shifts, leaving us to pick up the pieces and try to make sense of a reality we never wanted to face. Yet, within the ruins of what once was, there lies an extraordinary opportunity for growth and renewal. It may not be evident at first, and the pain may obscure any hope of a brighter tomorrow, but the potential for rebuilding is always there, waiting for us to begin. This process begins with courage, the courage to face your pain, to sit with it, and to allow it to shake you. Grief is a testament to love and connection, and the depth of your sorrow speaks to the depth of your bond with what was lost. While it may feel unbearable at times, acknowledging your grief is the first step in reclaiming your life. Avoidance can feel like a safer option, but true healing lies in facing your emotions head-on, no matter how raw or overwhelming they may be. In those moments of honesty, where you allow yourself to cry, to scream, or to simply feel, you are beginning the process of rebuilding. It is in this vulnerable space that you find the strength to continue. Rebuilding requires patience, both with the process and with yourself. After experiencing profound loss, it's natural to feel disoriented, as though the ground beneath you has shifted permanently. This disorientation can lead to frustration as you try to move forward, only to find that the path is not as linear as you'd hoped. Progress may come in fits and starts, with moments of clarity followed by setbacks. On some days, success might look like simply getting out of bed, while on others, it might be reconnecting with a passion or forging new relationships. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory. Celebrate these moments as reminders of your resilience, and trust that every effort you make is bringing you closer to a place of healing. Grief has a way of isolating us, convincing us that no one else could possibly understand the depth of our pain. It's easy to withdraw, to retreat into solitude and carry the burden of your sorrow alone. But isolation only amplifies the weight of grief. Rebuilding often requires the courage to reach out and accept help. Whether it's confiding in a friend, seeking solace in a support group, or simply allowing someone to sit with you in your pain, leaning on others can be a lifeline. Connection reminds us of our shared humanity, and in the presence of those who care, we begin to feel less alone. Vulnerability, far from being a weakness, is a powerful act of strength. It allows others to support us and fosters a sense of community that is essential for healing. As you rebuild, you may find yourself questioning your identity in the life you knew before your loss. Grief has a way of unraveling who we thought we were, leaving us unsure of what remains. This process, though painful, also presents an opportunity for rediscovery. Who are you now? What do you value? What brings even a flicker of peace or purpose? Exploring these questions allows you to rebuild a life that reflects not just the pain of your loss, but the growth and wisdom it has imparted. Reconnecting with old passions or discovering new ones can be a way to honor both your grief and your resilience. These moments of rediscovery are not about forgetting the past, but about integrating it into a future that feels authentic and fulfilling. Finding meaning in the aftermath of grief is perhaps the most challenging part of rebuilding. It's natural to wonder how you can move forward, or if it's even possible to find purpose again. This is not about searching for silver linings or minimizing your pain. Rather, it's about honoring what you've lost by living in a way that reflects the depth of your love and the lessons your grief has taught you. For some, this might mean dedicating themselves to causes that resonate deeply. For others, it could be as simple as finding ways to live more intentionally, cherishing the moments and connections that remain. Creating new meaning doesn't erase the pain, but it allows you to carry it in a way that feels lighter, transforming it into something that propels you forward rather than holding you back. Through it all, remember that rebuilding is not a race. There is no timeline, no checklist to complete, no definitive endpoint. Healing is a deeply personal journey, and it will look different for everyone. Allow yourself the space to heal at your own pace, to experience setbacks without judgment, and to celebrate victories no matter how small. Be patient with yourself and recognize that even on the hardest days, you are making progress simply by continuing to move forward. Rebuilding is not about returning to who you were before your loss, but about becoming who you are meant to be now, a version of yourself shaped by your experiences, strengthened by your pain, and inspired by your love. Above all, believe in your resilience. The fact that you are here seeking to rebuild is a testament to your strength. Grief may leave scars, but those scars are proof of your survival. They are reminders of the love you've known, the lessons you've learned, and the depths you've endured. Within you lies a strength greater than you realize, a capacity for renewal that will carry you through even the darkest moments. Trust in that strength, and trust in your ability to create a life that, while different, can still be meaningful and full of light. You are not alone on this journey, and as you take each step forward, know that the very act of rebuilding is a triumph, a testament to the unyielding power of the human spirit. Rebuilding yourself after the deepest grief is an intricate and deeply personal journey, one that demands an extraordinary amount of strength and patience. Grief can feel like an unstoppable force, sweeping through your life and leaving nothing untouched. It dismantles the structures you relied upon, your routines, your sense of security, even your understanding of who you are. It is not something you simply get over. Instead, it is something you learn to live with, adapt to, and eventually integrate into the fabric of your life. But even in the shadow of profound loss, there exists a glimmer of hope, a pathway forward. This journey does not erase the pain or undo what has been lost. It is about learning to rise piece by piece and rebuild a life that honors your past while embracing the possibilities of your future. To begin this process, you must first give yourself permission to grieve fully and unapologetically. Society often rushes us toward healing, urging us to move on or get back to normal, but true healing does not adhere to a schedule. Grief demands to be felt, and denying it only prolongs its hold on you. Allow yourself the space to experience your emotions without judgment, whether they come in waves of sadness, moments of anger, or periods of numbness. This raw honesty with yourself is the foundation of rebuilding. It's a declaration that your pain is valid, that your loss matters, and that healing begins not by ignoring the pain, but by embracing it as part of your journey. As you navigate the early stages of rebuilding, remember that grief is not a linear process. There will be days when you feel strong and capable, only to be blindsided by a wave of sadness the next. These moments of regression are not failures, they are part of the natural rhythm of healing. It's important to approach yourself with compassion and patience, understanding that each step, no matter how small, contributes to your growth. Even on the days when getting out of bed feels like an insurmountable task, you are making progress simply by continuing to try. Celebrate these small victories, for they are proof of your resilience and your commitment to moving forward. One of the most profound challenges of rebuilding is rediscovering who you are in the aftermath of loss. Grief changes us, often in ways we don't expect. The person you were before your loss may no longer feel familiar, and this can be unsettling. But this period of self-discovery is also an opportunity. It is a chance to reconnect with the parts of yourself that remain while exploring the new aspects of your identity that have emerged. You might find solace in returning to activities or passions that once brought you joy. Or you may discover new interests that align with who you are now. This process of exploration allows you to rebuild a life that feels authentic and meaningful, even as it reflects the changes you've undergone. During this journey, it's essential to lean on the support of others. Grief has a way of isolating us, making us feel as though no one else could possibly understand what we're going through. But the truth is, you are not alone. There are people who care about you, who want to help you carry the weight of your pain. Whether it's through the comfort of a close friend, the guidance of a therapist, or the shared experiences of a support group, allowing others into your grief can be profoundly healing. Connection reminds us of our shared humanity and helps us feel less isolated in our struggles. By opening yourself to the support of others, you not only lighten your own burden, but also create opportunities for deeper, more meaningful relationships. As you continue to rebuild, you may find yourself seeking purpose or meaning in your loss. This is not about diminishing the pain or finding a silver lining. It's about creating something new from the wreckage. Grief has a way of reshaping our priorities and forcing us to confront what truly matters. For some, this might mean dedicating themselves to causes that honor the memory of what they've lost. For others, it could involve living more intentionally, cherishing the people and moments that remain. Whatever form it takes, finding meaning is a way to transform your pain into something that propels you forward. It doesn't erase the loss, but it gives you a sense of direction and a renewed sense of purpose. Throughout this process, it's crucial to remember that rebuilding is not about returning to who you were before your loss. It's about becoming who you are meant to be now, a person shaped by your experiences, strengthened by your pain, and guided by the lessons you've learned. There is no right or wrong way to rebuild, no timeline to adhere to. Your journey is uniquely yours, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. Be gentle with yourself, allowing space for setbacks and moments of doubt. These are not signs of failure, they are reminders of your humanity and your capacity to persevere. Rebuilding yourself after grief requires tending to your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Grief takes a toll on the entire body, often leaving us drained and disconnected. Prioritizing self-care is not an indulgence, it is essential for healing. Begin by addressing your basic needs: proper sleep, nourishing meals, and gentle exercise. These small acts of care lay the foundation for strength and resilience. Beyond the basics, explore activities that soothe and restore your spirit. Whether it's journaling, meditation, spending time in nature, or practicing mindfulness, find what nourishes your soul. Self-care helps anchor you in the present, reminding you that even amid loss, you deserve kindness and compassion from yourself. While grief often overshadows everything else, intentionally cultivating gratitude can be a powerful tool for rebuilding. This doesn't mean ignoring your pain or forcing positivity. It's about finding balance. Gratitude helps reframe your perspective, allowing you to notice the beauty and support that still exist in your life. Begin with small moments: a kind word from a friend, a comforting sunset, or the strength you showed in facing another day. Recognizing these moments doesn't diminish your grief. Instead, it complements your healing by creating space for hope and appreciation. Over time, this practice can help you reconnect with life's richness, even as you carry the weight of your loss. Self-care extends beyond physical needs. It also involves tending to your emotional and mental health. Grief often clouds our thoughts, making it difficult to focus or find peace. Incorporating mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, or journaling can help you reconnect with the present moment and create a space for reflection. These practices don't erase the pain, but they offer moments of reprieve, allowing you to process your emotions in a safe and structured way. Explore what brings you comfort. Perhaps it's reading, creating art, listening to music, or simply sitting in a quiet space. Each act of self-care reinforces the idea that even amid profound loss, you are worthy of love and kindness, especially from yourself. As you navigate this journey, it's important to remember that self-care isn't just about soothing the pain. It's also about rediscovering joy and meaning. Initially, this might feel impossible, as grief can make the world seem devoid of color. But small acts of gratitude can be a gentle way to begin reconnecting with life's beauty. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your grief or pretending to be happy when you're not. Instead, it's about acknowledging the moments, however small, that bring light into the darkness. Perhaps it's the warmth of the sun on your face, the sound of a bird outside your window, or the comforting presence of a loved one. These moments may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they become reminders that life, even in its pain, still holds traces of hope and connection. Gratitude and grief can coexist. They are not opposites, but companions on your journey. By embracing gratitude, you create space for both the sorrow of your loss and the appreciation of what remains. This balance doesn't minimize your pain, rather, it enriches your perspective, helping you find meaning in the midst of suffering. You might consider keeping a journal where you record one or two things each day that brought you a sense of peace or comfort. This practice can be particularly powerful during difficult times as it shifts your focus, even briefly, from what is missing to what still exists. It's a quiet reminder that even in the depths of despair, there are reasons to keep going. Rebuilding yourself also involves cultivating patience and grace for your journey. Grief is not a process that can be rushed or neatly resolved. Some days you may feel like you're making progress, while other days it may feel as though the weight of your loss has pulled you backward. This is a natural part of healing, not a sign of failure. Be gentle with yourself on the harder days and celebrate even the smallest victories. These small moments of progress, whether it's finding the courage to smile, sharing a memory with someone, or simply making it through another day, are milestones on your path to renewal. Over time, these incremental steps accumulate, creating a foundation for a new version of yourself. The journey of rebuilding is ultimately a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is a process that asks for courage, patience, and an unwavering commitment to yourself. Along the way, you may discover strengths you never knew you had, a capacity for compassion and understanding that deepens your connection with others. Grief, though painful, can become a teacher, offering lessons about the fragility and beauty of life, the importance of love, and the value of embracing every moment fully. These lessons, hard-earned as they are, become a part of the new foundation you are building. Above all, trust in your ability to heal. You have already survived the initial waves of grief, and that in itself is a profound accomplishment. Each day you choose to move forward, no matter how small the steps, is proof of your resilience. Though the journey may be long and the pain may never fully disappear, you are creating a life that honors both what you have lost and the strength you have gained. This life, though different from the one you knew before, can still be meaningful, rich, and filled with moments of light. Rebuilding is not about forgetting your grief. It's about carrying it in a way that allows you to live fully and authentically, embracing both the sorrow and the joy that make us human.